Hi folks, Van Prepper here with another Safe Act and Gun News update. I have three things on the agenda today, so we're going to take them one at a time. First, the Drake case. For those of you who don't know, Drake is a man who lives in New Jersey who operates a business where he has ATMs and he puts them in different stores. As a result, he stocks 10 ATMs at a time, so he routinely has $30,000 in $20 bills with him. And he tries to smuggle it under his shirt, make the switches as fast as he can, load up the ATMs and get out. But on at least 3 occasions, he has been chased by robbers, people who were laying in wait and tried to rob him. New Jersey is a may-issue state, not a shall-issue state. May-issue states, you can pass the whole background check, but if they decide that you haven't demonstrated the proper need to defend yourself, I find that comical that you need to demonstrate a need to exercise a right. That's pretty nonsensical. I don't need to demonstrate a reason I need to vote. I just get to vote. I don't need to demonstrate a reason that I need to breathe. I'm just allowed to breathe because those are my rights. I don't need to demonstrate that I need a need to peaceably assemble and protest or exercise religion freely. But apparently, for the Second Amendment, you have to demonstrate a need in some states. Anyway, Mr. Drake went and he applied for the things, passed the background check, and was denied a carry conceal permit because New Jersey, the state of New Jersey, decided that being pursued on at least 3 occasions by criminals trying to rob you does not demonstrate a need or a specific threat to your life. That is foolishness. And hopefully the Supreme Court is going to take this case up. He is pushing it, and his attorney is trying to get the Supreme Court to take this case to decide once and for all whether or not states can restrict the right to bear arms to the home. The right to self-defense obviously does not stop at the home, because if that is true, then in states like New Jersey, states like New York, states like California, other states that are may-issue states, then all the people in Columbine didn't have a right to defend themselves. All the people in Sandy Hook had no right to defend themselves. All the people in the Colorado cinema shooting had no right to defend themselves. Everybody who was robbed, stabbed, beaten, whatever, raped, anywhere outside of their home has no inherent right to defend themselves, and that's garbage. And I hope that the Supreme Court will take this case up, and I hope that they will issue in very non-blurry terms that the right to carry a concealed weapon outside of your home for self-protection is inherent, cannot be restricted by the states, other than they can check you on a background check and see if you're a danger. And that's the only thing they should be able to do, is to determine whether you're a danger to other people or not. So that is the Drake case. Next, we have Raymond Felton. Raymond Felton is an NBA player, plays for the New York Knicks, and has played for the University of North Carolina and won a couple of state championships in North Carolina as a high school student. Raymond Felton, if you Googled him a week ago, you would have found nothing except basketball stuff on this guy. He has never been in trouble, never run afoul of the law, good, solid citizen by every account. He is going through a divorce, and his wife, who seems to be not the nicest lady in the world, is about the best way to put it, whispers to her attorney, Raymond's got a handgun in his home for self-protection, and I'm afraid. And Raymond's got 18 rounds in his magazine, both of which in New York City are felonies. This guy wasn't waving a gun around. He didn't chase people down. He wasn't threatening anybody. He simply had a gun in his home for self-protection. But because states like New York, where he lives, where I live, treat you as a second-class citizen and believe that you do not have a right to defend yourself, even in your home if you live in New York City, her attorney called the police. The police then went to Raymond Felton's home, and Raymond Felton is now facing 2 felonies. So they have created, in states like these, an entire class of criminals, people who have never been in trouble whatsoever for 1 second in their life with the law, are suddenly felons simply because an unconstitutional law was passed restricting their right to defend themselves. Nonsense. Having a handgun in your home for self-protection, it should not be illegal, and if they make it illegal, you still have a right to have a gun in your home for self-protection because they can't take away rights that are guaranteed you under the Constitution of the United States of America. And the 18-round thing, that's standard issue in most states. If you go to North Carolina, most of the magazines you're going to get are going to be 18 rounds. So it's just nonsense. And that brings me to Plexico Burris. Let me tell you a secret about Plexico Burris. He got screwed. This guy's only mistake is that he was stupid enough to bring the gun out in a pair of pants. Ended up shooting himself in the leg. But he lost his career, essentially. Spent 2 years in prison. If you listen to his story, not the media story, he's not some reckless, crazy fool who was out to hurt somebody carrying that gun to a nightclub. He lived in the same apartment building as another member of the Giants who had been, a week or two earlier, had been robbed at gunpoint, held at gunpoint while they robbed him and threatened to be shot for quite some time, and he feared for his life. Now, because he lived in New York, played for the Giants and lived in New York, his right to defend himself was taken away from him. And that is simply wrong. You have a right to defend yourself, not just in your home, but outside of your home. And it is a right you were born with. The government doesn't grant it, and therefore the government can't take it away. Finally, Manny Falcone, the Gettysburg supervisor, had a meeting with Governor Cuomo this week. Now, the meeting was so that Governor Cuomo came to Gettysburg to do some PR thing about a grant that they were making to the area. But Manny Falcone is a very outspoken critic of the SAFE Act, and Governor Cuomo's people went to Manny Falcone and said, do not bury the governor in your introduction. Don't bring up the SAFE Act. Don't attack him. And in return, you can have a meeting with Governor Cuomo. And so what happened is he was polite, didn't bury him. They had their PR moment. And then Manny Falcone went and had a meeting with Governor Cuomo. Governor Cuomo gave him a tour of his office, showed him all the history, all this stuff. And they had a nice meeting. And he said, I didn't get a commitment to get rid of the SAFE Act, but we had a dialogue. Listen, I like Manny Falcone. I think he's a good Second Amendment guy. But you are misunderstanding what's going on here if you think you had a nice dialogue. There's no dialogue with somebody who has usurped and infringed on your constitutional rights, the rights that you were born with. There is nothing to discuss here. I don't care about the history in his office. I don't care about seeing his memorabilia. I don't care about anything. And if I had a meeting with Governor Cuomo, it would last about 10 seconds, and it would go something like this. Governor Cuomo, the SAFE Act is an infringement on rights that I was born with. They go beyond your scope. You have no right to do it. And they need to be fully repealed, and there is nothing left to discuss here. And that is that. There is no room for compromise. There is no room to work with people who are trying to take away your constitutional rights, because they are perfectly fine with nickel and diming your rights a little bit each time they attack them. You give up a little bit, and that's where the give and take is. It always cracks me up when people that are attacking your rights think that we need to have compromise. We need to have compromise it always only goes one way. The anti-gunners want the compromise because our stance is we have an inherent right to protect ourselves by any means necessary, with any firearms, up to and including what the United States military has, because that was what the Second Amendment was designed for. So anything that we give up, they're gaining ground and we're losing ground. There's no compromise. We're just drawing closer to where they want us to be little by little, and there's no reason for that. So, Manny Falcone, I love you. I think you do a good job being outspoken against the SAFE Act, but you're totally wrong. You do not sit around and have a dialogue and try to talk compromise with people who treat you as if you are a second-class citizen and somehow inherently dangerous because you own a gun. Let me say this once and for all. If anybody that is watching this is an anti-gun person, you've stuck around this long, first off, it's a miracle. Secondly, let me tell you one of the biggest secrets in the gun control lies. One, criminals don't obey the laws anyway, so pass any laws you want, and if somebody's crazy or just a criminal, they're going to do whatever they want. The only people affected by gun control laws are people that are obeying the laws already. Two, angry people with guns don't kill people. I'm angry a lot. I have tons of guns, and at no point have I ever thought that I should shoot somebody. That's a stupid idea, and you are assuming that when you get angry with somebody, is your first thought to run to the kitchen and grab a butcher knife and stab somebody? No, because you don't have this disconnect that goes on in somebody's mind. Angry people with guns don't kill people. Crazy people with guns kill people. But crazy people with knives kill people. And crazy people with screwdrivers kill people. The problem isn't what instrument they use. The problem is the crazy part of it. You need to get that straight. Having a gun doesn't mean every time you get angry you're going to go shoot somebody. Having a gun doesn't mean anything other than you have a gun. Being crazy doesn't really matter if you have a gun. You can have a car, you can have a screwdriver, you can have a chainsaw, you can get anything you want from Lowe's and you can go kill a ton of people. I mean, that's just nonsense, the idea that the gun itself is the problem. This has gone very long. I hope you guys bear with me through the whole thing. I am Van Prepper. This has been another Safe Acting Gun News Update. Happy shooting, everybody.